Hi, Virgo. Hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the beginning of November. Let's get right into things. So we have the new moon in Scorpio, and this is happening in your third house, sitting opposite Uranus and Taurus in your ninth house. So I have to tell you, I feel like there is going to be a lot of focus hanging in that third house. What is the third house? It has to do with communication, short distance travel, your neighborhood, your neighbors, doing business apps, learning things from a ground up, from a grassroots element up, signing on the dotted line. With Uranus sitting opposite in Taurus in that ninth house, something surprising coming in. So some sort of surprising turn of events having to do with publishing, advertising, marketing, having to do with your belief system. You may suddenly realize your belief about a situation is very different. Something going on, something could be happening within your family relating to your siblings or your extended family, like your cousins, your aunts, that kind of thing. That's very third house, the siblings. So there'll be a lot of focus there and something surprising coming in that ninth house. Finding out maybe like that a sibling is moving, or it could be that ninth house is also foreign land, foreign travel, foreign cultures, importing and exporting. So there could be something going on regarding some sort of business in those areas, moving in those areas, this idea of movement, this idea of belief system. Something is going to be playing out that's going to be feeding into that third house. And keep in mind, you're going to have the sun, focus, moon, emotions, Mars, that warrior energy. And then on the next day, Mercury is going to be moving into Scorpio as well for a few weeks. So this is a very, very loaded house right there, right? And that's going to be, this is not a short-lived kind of thing. What happens here in the Scorpio energy is going to be rolling out for the next few months, but there's a lot of change here because Scorpio is the energy of change. And so there's going to be this focus on something that's sort of transforming, transmuting in this third house. So some of you are going to be realizing you want to change neighborhoods. Some of you are going to be realizing you want to learn a new skill set. Some of you are going to be realizing things going on with a family member. Some of you are going to be realizing having to do with signing on the dotted line, right? Maybe some sort of creative endeavor that you want to get into. And I actually think this is a beautiful, beautiful energy for those of you who are doing any sort of entrepreneurial activities, because Venus is going to be moving on the 5th. Venus is going to be moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn. It's going to be there for months until March 6th, even though she's going to be retrograde a little bit. We like Venus retrograde in Capricorn. I do anyway, because whatever you're going to be working on, there's going to have so much sticking power because Saturn rules Capricorn. And this is beautiful energy having to do with that 5th house. Like that 5th house energy is all about, I forget, did I say 6th house? I meant 5th house. Venus is going to be moving into Capricorn in the 5th house. So I'm just looking at your chart here. So 5th house is all about entrepreneurial efforts, creativity. So anything that you're working on that you want to get out into the world, beautiful energy there, beautiful. Falling in love, love affairs, romance, the idea of children, having kids, the energy of what's going on with your children as well. Really nice energy. Nice energy. So let's get into things here. Let's pull some cards. I'm going to start by pulling some Halloween tarot because it's Halloween. Happy Halloween. And a couple of oracles. We'll see what we have for our Virgo friends. Virgo friends, Sun and Rising on Venus. 7 of Bats. I do feel like this is generally going to be a bit of a lighter month than the rest of the messy months that we've been dealing with, right? Oh yeah. But I do love, loving that Venus and Capricorn for you in the 5th, because that's like, you're not even playing around. Capricorn's very serious energy, right? Ruled by Saturn. It's like, all right, I really want to be in a relationship. I'm not even going to play with anybody who doesn't fit the bill, who's not. You're just not going to be, it's not a player energy. You're not going to be in that mindset, and you're not going to want to deal with anybody who's in that mindset either. Message in a bottle, beautiful. Between worlds. So message in the bottle is getting very real and honest with what it is that you're feeling deep down inside that maybe you haven't really wanted to acknowledge or look at up to this point, right? And I feel like it's going to happen pretty smoothly for you. And the only reason I'm saying that is because it is sextiling that that first house of self for you, right? Even though it is squaring that energy of your subconscious mind, the house of the hidden. I feel like you're going to get into a space where you're able to be very, very critical of yourself, of what it is that you've been involved in, but not in a way where you're going to beat yourself up, but in a way where you're going to say, okay, now how can I move forward with this information? But really getting very honest with yourself and recognizing that you feel between things. Because your belief system is changing as well. With Uranus and Taurus in the ninth house, your belief system is changing. Like what mattered to you at one point doesn't matter in the same way. What you thought that you had to have, it's all happening in a little bit of a different way, a little bit of a different way. So we have the Seven of Bats, clarified by the 10 of Bats, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Moon. So I feel like for a lot of you, there's going to be this energy of patience, understanding that you're starting a new cycle. Don't lose your patience. First of all, a lot of you are like, yeah, Jack, you have no idea how flipping patient I've been. And I'm sure you have, right? You're trying to hold on to something very strongly. Meaning like not give up, right? Don't give up. Your future self is definitely going to thank you, even though you're just like, I don't think I can do this anymore. Some of you might be struggling with some depression right now, but definitely an energy of overwhelm, overload, too many demands going on, just a lot of heavy, heavy energy. It's like, I don't know if I could do this anymore, but you've reached this turning point with the wheel, absolutely reaches. Fate has stepped in and change is afoot. And this is a good luck energy. There's some sort of turning point that you're dealing with, but you need to take a chance right now. So a lot of you are going to be turning to something or someone from the past that suddenly reappears during Scorpio season, because there's a lot of destiny at work for you here. So if this has to do with a relationship, this could certainly be an ex-love interest or partner coming back from the past, but you need to think about that last go around. And if you think that connection had good enough of bones and a strong enough foundation to work this time, if so, great, go for it. If not, you may feel like you're trying to fit a circle in a square, which is never comfortable. If this has to do more with like career or money, this does indicate good news coming in. But you have to be sure to prioritize what's being asked of you and exercise a lot of integrity while doing so, because you have to understand that this is a fated situation and this is a Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is always in a very intimate dance with karma. So you want to make sure that you're exercising a lot of integrity here. And clarifying this Wheel of Fortune is the Moon. So for a lot of you, if this has to do with career or money, you're like, okay, you know what? I achieved the goal, but I'm not feeling like it's actually worth the effort. And your emotions can be running very high right now, just especially because of all that heavy energy in that third house of communication. That, when Mars is in that third house, it's heavy communication. It's very difficult to sit on your tongue and like not say what it is that you need to say. And I'm not suggesting that you don't, you just want to be super careful with how you say it, because whatever happens, as I mentioned in one of my last videos, what happens in Scorpio season is very lasting effects. So you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot, right? A lot of what's going on October into November is really dictating 2022. So we just want to be mindful of that, right? But anyway, I mean, if this, so you might be in this space in work or having to do with some sort of money situation that you're dealing with, where you almost feel like you have to protect yourself from others' negativity. Even if money matters are okay, you want more satisfaction than either just a paycheck or, something just ending. You want some satisfaction in something. If this has to do more with a relationship, this is you feeling pretty confused. Maybe even having a crisis of faith and feeling really emotionally vulnerable and disappointed because someone let you down, someone paid you more lip service than follow through or something like that, right? And you could be experiencing a lack of trust that a relationship is going to be able to work really in the long term. And that ends up pushing you to make that final decision about the relationship. So definitely a confusing time. It is a confusing time because you do feel like you're sort of between worlds. And I feel like there are some messages that are coming up from within you that you can't not see, but maybe aren't oh so comfortable to actually process and look at. So some sort of truth, some sort of reality that you have to kind of work with and digest, kind of whether you like it or not sort of thing. So let's see what messages we have coming up for you, my Virgo friends. So this first spread will be for you, and then the next one will be for a person that you're dealing with. I feel like the light is too bright there. Let's see if that doesn't work. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Eight of Cups. Okay. Ooh, something's over. Something's over, Virgo. Coming into this energy. Relationship ended. A job ended. But some sort of necessary surrender happened here. Mars energy. Something that wasn't meant, I know no one ever wants to hear this, but something that was not meant for you needed to end. Because that's Mars is all, that's what Mars, see, in astrology, the tower energy is Mars. Because Mars is all about making sure that we're, you know, on our rightful path, doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And if we're not on that rightful path, Mars will give us all the red flags until we like make it very clear to Mars that we're just ignoring all the red flags. So he has to come in and pull that situation apart because it's not meant for us. Now we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is an energy of detachment, of walking away, departure, change, and having the emotional intelligence to recognize at the very least that something doesn't feel right and it's time to move on. So, you know, certainly an energy of sadness, but no regret, where you've likely even maybe even emotionally left the situation already, because it's time to very much work on yourself, recognizing that even if you really wanted that relationship to work or really wanted that job to work, there was something about it that you couldn't ignore that just felt off. You just not being able to not see that. But your challenge is the Emperor. So you might be having a hard time going off on your own, being on your own, standing on your own 2 feet. And not to say that, you know, you're weak or that you're not able to do that. But the Emperor is definitely a leadership energy. And maybe because you're heartbroken, or maybe because you're just scared of money, you know, whatever it is. But this can indicate you having a really hard time with this separation, because in numerology, this is the death card, having a really hard time with this separation, having a really hard time taking control, feeling like your life is in order, feeling you know, solid and grounded, and being able to identify how you can move forward in a situation. You know, I'm actually going to even venture to say that some of you may feel, again, it depends on what else is aspecting your chart, but some of you feel very, I'm feeling like a lot of you feel very overwhelmed, almost unhinged is very, not even what I want to say. Like your feet are not grounded. You have no idea like what's going on. There's a very, sort of very tumultuous sort of combination of cards here. Now we have and this is the female Emperor. Now we have the male Emperor. So there's a lot of leadership energy, because it's like, check it out. What the Emperor is your challenge, but the basis of the situation is exactly what you need to do. You have to figure out how you can better survive in this situation, how you can better bring yourself into this new space with this Emperor energy, how you can be the leader in your own life in a way that really is going to work for you. And this isn't, because it's so much easier to draw things out in our minds, right? But this is about, again, taking control. I know some of you, maybe you're in a space where you need to go and meet a new person. If you're single, you just have to go meet somebody. If you're in a long-standing relationship, future plans and practical matters need to be addressed in the current relationship, like once and for all. How is this going to roll out? What are we doing? For others of you, this is about saying, okay, I have to sit down and get my finances in check. I have to get them organized, but I really have to ask myself that big existential question: am I happy in what I'm doing? Do I feel impassioned by what I'm doing? Because if you don't feel really impassioned about what it is that you're doing, you're going to end up feeling really very stifled, you know? And that base of the situation is working with the Five of Wands. Conflict. Clash of desires, tension, you know, trying to figure things out. You know, no one's really going to win here. It's a lot of yelling or a lot of passive aggressiveness. But whatever it is, it's the underbelly of it is this: two people wanting to protect themselves. So this does not only have to be in a relationship, this could even be in a work situation. You know, And it's that because it's Saturn and Leo, right? And Leo is a very me-based energy, and it's like, no, this is what I need, this is what I want, right? That ego, and then and the other person saying that too. So there being some sort of conflict about how two very different ideas about how something should roll out moving forward. Definitely, if this has anything to do with a relationship, whether it's intimate, friendship, family, people are on different pages, not the same page right now. Now, what is the card? The card of advice is the 10 of Cups. You're being asked to look at your focus on your happiness. Focus on what does it mean for you to feel contentment? If somebody came along and said to you, Virgo, if I said the phrase benefits of security to you, what does that mean to you? Because it's very subjective, but getting in touch with what that means, right? Really getting in touch with what it is that you need and what is all of that. And would this situation actually even bring that to you? Because it may not bring it to you. So the ending of the situation, even if it's painful initially, is exactly what you need to have happen. Now we have the King of Cups is the energy that's external to you. So this could be the general energy surrounding you with the other person that you're dealing with. And the King of Cups is about needing to settle a conflict, either within themselves or with you. Maybe both, but they don't really know how to do that. That's the problem. That's the problem with the King of Cups. I mean, the answer is follow your heart, but that's not always easy for everyone to do, right? If somebody seems rather confused about what to do. Now, your challenge, your psychological challenge is the death energy. So something ending is really difficult for you to face. You're having a hard time releasing something, that job, that relationship. Maybe some of you are having a really hard time making that move, right? Maybe you have to move homes. You're just having a hard time with this transformation right now. And it doesn't have to last, guys. This is 1 week, right? It's the first week in November, but that's what's coming up for right now. Now we have in the near future the Magician energy, which is nice. This is straight up Mercury, and Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So some sort of conversation to problem solve, and whatever that means, it's sitting down and figuring things out in order to manifest something that is going to end up alleviating the stress or the tension of a situation. Now, for some of you, this can indicate the sale of a house, and that, and this is, you need to move on. For some of you, this is a house moving energy. For some of you having to do with career or money, this has to do with a new beginning or direction in your career. You're realizing, okay, I need to go into a different direction. I need to do something where I'm making more money, or where I feel more fulfilled, or I feel more passionate, right? Going back to that Emperor energy about what it is that I'm doing. If this is to do with a relationship, this is you sitting down and trying to do some serious problem solving, and whatever that means for your relationship. That's what goes on here, problem solving. Now we have the King of Pentacles as the final outcome energy. King of Pentacles, while it can be a generous energy for sure, is a very protective energy at the same time, and even very protective of his own things. I'm saying him, but it could be her as well. It doesn't really, tarot doesn't understand gender. But this energy has no patience for anyone looking to take what's his. So this could be somebody who's funny with their money, who's just not willing to change. They're just not willing to do something like that. Now, this could be you, or this could be an energy that you're dealing with, because it's coming up as the final outcome energy. But it's like somebody's like, yeah, no, I'm generous. I'll help you out. I'll do A, B, and C. We'll do this, this, and this. But then it gets to this certain point. It's like, okay, well, I don't feel like I want to put my money into that, or I should have to change for that, or, and it's this element of greed. It's kind of like greed wears many hats, right? It's kind of like greed. So then we have the Two of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Cups, King of Wands, Nine of Cups, Seven of Wands, protecting yourself, Page of Swords, King of Swords, Ten of Wands. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of strategizing going on here. Strategizing. So we have the Two of Cups working with the Queen of Swords. So I feel like there's this conversation where you're trying to figure out somebody else's full truth, Virgo. But you're showing up in a way that's very agreeable, that's very mutually supportive, and it is mutually supportive. But I feel like there's some sort of sub-narrative running underneath this. I almost feel like there's a reason why it's being approached like this. Like, almost like you attract more flies with honey than with vinegar kind of thing. You're having that conversation while you're trying to figure them out. Right. And then we have the Ace of Cups energy, which does indicate a new beginning. So this could be a new cycle in the relationship, a new job, a new family member, a new beginning, something that you've been focusing on coming to fruition, spiritual growth. Some of you are just going to be experiencing significant spiritual growth, especially with Uranus in your ninth house of belief system. So clarifying that Ace of Cups, we have the King of Wands. You wanting to be a free spirit. You wanting to express yourself and go after what you want. Don't worry. Something may not come out as seeming as perfect as maybe it looked in your mind's eye. Doesn't mean that it's still not going to be good. It's time for you to just totally focus on your happiness now. Nine of Cups. You're in a space of defending yourself. And I feel like you're very correct in feeling like this, right? You're defending yourself. Don't allow your emotions to run over you. Stay very in your mental realm. Focus on your mind instead of your heart to take charge of your circumstances. You have to understand, like, there's something that's just become too much at this point, too much, too overwhelming. But I almost feel like you're being very smart and strategizing, and not with malice involved. It more is a way of just trying to have a fair outcome. It's almost like, I almost feel like you guys are playing like mental chess or like mental gymnastics with somebody in order to make sure that some sort of outcome is had. I see you trying to play something smart, which is, I guess, good, right? Because at the end of the day, like I see, you know what I'm saying? Like I see the conversations go, okay, yeah, you're on board with it, doing what you have to do, whatever, to sort of have this outcome that's necessary. Doing what you have to do. But there's change here. There's change here. So whatever that means for you, let's pull an oracle for that one. Building blocks. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about, my friend. Building blocks. Okay, if I do this, then I do that, then I do that. If I want to get that outcome there, I can't just go from here to there. I have to go almost like I have to play the game kind of thing. Which can be annoying, right? Can't everybody just like say what they need to say? But I feel like you can't. I feel like you have to play it like this. It does seem like it's the energy I'm getting anyway. For those of you who resonate with it, like you're in this space of needing to play mental chess in order to have the outcome that you feel is fair in a situation. So let's see what's going on with them. Queen of Wands. Okay. So, on the one hand, they really want to step into their power, right? They feeling like they have the strength to make things happen and all of that. But there's this energy from the past that's getting in their way. There's this energy of, for some, nostalgia. For others, but it's this challenge, right? It's this challenge that's coming in. They're feeling very challenged in reconciling something. They're feeling very challenged in reconnecting. They're feeling very challenged in being able to balance something out with you. Yeah, so we have the death energy coming into this, which is, as I mentioned before, the ending of the relationship, at least as it was, and at least temporarily. Remember, death is Scorpio. So Scorpio is all about transformation. So, could certainly be ending for now in order to find your footing again later on. Others, it's, ending because it's just not working. Others, it's an avenue of money ending, some sort of changes going on with work, or some of you moving, right? Again, fourth house energy here. You do have that South Node in Sagittarius in your fourth house. So I do feel like a lot of you are doing a lot of releasing from that fourth house energy as well. Okay, so we discussed what it is for them to have the Queen of Wands, just challenged by the Six of Cups. And the base of the situation for them is the Four of Wands. So Four of Wands is we call it the honeymoon card, right? For in some situations, but it's about freedom. This is about freedom, them, wanting to feel free, go after what it is that they want. Some of you may be dealing with somebody who is meeting a new partner, or they're in the space of wanting to meet a new partner. Kind of just, and to be able to sort of flourish into a strong foundation, and whatever that means for them. So this could certainly be, if this has to do with career or work, getting into a job or a project where they can exercise their creativity and be appreciated. And as a result of that, have some sort of stability presented to them. And that's something that they want. If this has to do with a relationship, this could certainly have to do with them wanting to feel grounded and rooted in a relationship, but in a way that truly speaks to their heart. And if you guys have been in this space where there's been a lot of separateness, a lot of not being able to work things out, they're thinking in their mind, hey, maybe we can get back together. Maybe if we come together and we work together harder than we've been to try to master what's necessary to make this relationship work, if master that skill set for that job, master whatever needs to be done in order to make this situation work. So it's interesting because your energy, there's like a very strong recognition that something is not working. But here with them, it's almost like on the one hand, they want new, but then on the other hand, they feel like they could come back to you at the same time and work things out. It's almost like they feel this door to be open. Remember, this is a very subjective read. Doesn't mean that it's the reality of the situation. It just, I'm picking up on their energy. The advice here is the Queen of Cups, Gemini and Cancer. So the advice here is they need to sit down and have a conversation about what's necessary in order to make the situation work. They can't ignore it. They have to sit down and actually have the conversation. Now, showing up as either you or the energy that's surrounding them is the King of Wands. So it's this energy of wanting to be a free spirit, having high standards, right? Expressing, they're viewing you. If this is them viewing you, you're coming in, expressing your ideas, you're going after what you want. They may feel though that you're looking for something with them that's a little too perfect. And that's an issue for them. That could certainly be what's going on here. Or they're looking for something to be a little too perfect, or maybe a little bit of both. Maybe your definitions of perfect are not the same. You know what I mean? Where you're looking for them to be a particular way and they're looking for a relationship that's different, or you're looking for a job to be a certain way and their version of perfectionism would be, it's just not in alignment with what you're needing, versus what they're needing. So there could be this idea, but with the Queen of Cups, there's got to be a conversation about what's necessary, but the challenge here for them is this argument, right? They don't want to argue. Who likes to argue? But sometimes you have to, right? Five of Wands, I mean, but this is showing up as a block for them, right? Competition, battle of the wills, lack of agreement, strong opinions. And that's a challenge for them. They don't want to deal with it. But at the same time, they don't feel like they belong in the situation anymore. The Eight of Swords. They feel like that's it, feeling very self-imposed, limited, very restricted, very trapped, thinking things are likely never going to improve. And that can create challenges in their concentration because they feel like they don't belong in that situation anymore. And they're going to need a lot of determination to pull out of it, even if it means swallowing their pride and whatever is necessary to get past the situation. It just really does seem like that. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So maybe somebody is like, if this is an employer of yours, them getting a new job, or Ace is always brand new. Pentacles, also mental, physical, emotional connection, if it doesn't have to actually do with money, but them being shown what's necessary, shown how to achieve what it is that they want, right? Being shown how to achieve that foundation of stability. So it's like they feel like they don't belong in something with you because something's not feeling right anymore. And then feeling super confident. See, it's very interesting, Virgo, because on the one hand, I'm feeling like Oh my gosh, I feel like they're very confused because on the one hand, they feel like, okay, I don't belong in this anymore. I shouldn't be in this anymore. But if I want to get back with them or I want to go back to that situation, I feel like that door is always going to be open, right? Which of course would resonate very strongly with in intimate relationships, but I feel like it goes beyond that. Oh, I could always go back to that, or I could always just deal with that. I'll just go in and say A, B, and C, and it'll be fine. But at the same time, they feel like they don't belong in it anymore. So I'm wondering if you're not dealing with some sort of narcissistic energy where it's like, I don't want to have this A, B, and C with you, but I don't want anybody else to have it with you either. Or I may not want A, B, and C with you, but I want to know that you're always just kind of there, kind of thing. I feel like that's going to resonate with some of you regarding relationship. We have the Nine of Swords, right? The Nine of Swords has to do with anxiety and overwhelm, depression, trouble sleeping, ruminating thoughts. But then the Eight of Cups is about departure and change and recognizing that something just doesn't feel right anymore and that they have sort of probably emotionally detached as well before actually detaching. And then we have the Ace of Swords going into this new part of their life, right? Getting over any sort of past obstacles, getting what it is that they want. Careful what you ask for, because look, look what's clarifying their Ace of Swords is the devil. So they are so imbalanced. They don't know what they want for this new, and I'm not, listen, maybe they're struggling with some sort of addiction. Maybe they're struggling with some sort of narcissistic tendencies where they can't see the hand in front of their face. They can't. There's some sort of imbalance though. Some sort of imbalance is going to be happening here as they try to have this new beginning. Seven of Wands, but they are very much defending themselves. No, this is what I want you to do. No, this is, their moral code and their moral philosophy. No, this is what I think. This is what I feel. Very, very important to them right now. Okay, 10 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Wow. Listen, 10 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Somebody is being super dishonest with you. They're very selfish. They're very self-absorbed. They're giving you a lot of lip service. Some sort of truth comes out. Some sort of revelation is going to, some sort of shocking surprise is going to come out. This is the month of it though. This is the month of change and big surprises. Because we have the 10 of Cups being clarified by a lot of pain where it's like, listen, let me tell you, like, I don't think this is going to work out with this job or this relationship, this, whatever it is. But them not being completely forthcoming with you. That's what I don't like. 7 of Swords is very sneaky energy, very sneaky. It's an energy of theft, right? But it's also just dishonesty and immoral behavior and running away from the relationship and overstepping boundaries and being selfish. And it's pretty likely that you're going to need your instincts and your wits about you to figure out the real truth of a situation. So you might need to play them at their own game to find out what it is that you need to know, right? And then going back to the energy that I said in your spread about you playing this mental chess. Wow, very intense energy. Very intense energy. Let's pull a clarifier for them. Serendipity. Oh, Virgo. Regeneration. Okay, I just look at you for this one. Serendipity. This is like karma. Karma is at play here. And when we have regeneration, this is a Scorpio energy during Scorpio season. It's about endings and beginnings. And it's about something just needing to end. But it's like something is destined to roll out in a particular way. But this is the thing. I almost feel like you're going to catch them at their own thing. You're going to call them out on something. And it's meant to happen that way. It's meant to happen this way. So it's almost like you handing somebody their ass on a silver platter. Not now, though. I feel like everything is sort of rolling out now, and it's not going to end up coming to fruition probably until like, I'm going to say like Scorpio, Taurus nodal season. When the nodes switch in the middle of January. I feel like winter into the spring, there's going to be some sort of like, because the strategizing and the mental gymnastics and the chess playing is happening now. And I feel like it's going to end up rolling out over the next, 3 to 6 months. So that's what I'm seeing here. Okay. Wow. Intense, interesting read, Virgo, for sure. Most interesting one so far this week. But okay. Thank you for that. All right, guys, have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.